Hey Triumph members, Mr. White here. Thought we'd take a few minutes and go over the stances that we use in our beginner class for our white, orange, and yellow belts. The very first stance that we practice for class is our attention stance. Our proper attention stance should be feet together, toes touching, knees touching, standing straight and tall with our hands by our side. We also refer to this as standing like a black belt. Our natural ready position is approximately the width of our shoulders with our hands straight down by our side, approximately 6 inches from our body. All right, our stances for our forms. We have 3 basic stances we use in our beginner class. They are front stance, middle stance, back stance. We're going to start with a middle stance because everything transitions from our middle stance. Our middle stance is our feet wider than our shoulders. My toes need to be pointed straight forward and my knees are bent. A really good gauge as to whether your knees are bent far enough is to look down at your toes. If your knees are covering your toes, then you know you're in a good middle stance. My weight distribution is 50-50 for my middle stance. For my front stance, I want to keep the same width. I'm just going to take one foot, go straight forward. My front leg is bent, my back leg is straight, and once again, my toes are pointed forward. I need to make sure that my front knee is bent far enough. So again, I look down. If I can see my toes, I'm going to bend my knee until my knee is covering my toes. Our third stance is our back stance. Now again, we can transition from our middle stance. We remember my feet are wider than my shoulders, my knees are bent, my toes are pointed forward. For a back stance, I'm going to turn my toes so they're facing the side of the room. My foot should line up. The heel of this foot should line up with either the heel or the instep of my back foot. But my feet should make a 90-degree angle. About 60% of my weight is in my back leg, and once again, my knees are bent until I can no longer see my toes. To transition to the other side, I would just bring that foot forward, turn my toe out on the other foot, and again, bend my knees with 60% of my weight in my back leg. A good rule of thumb for our stances, from middle stance, you should feel tension in both legs. For a front stance, I should feel tension in my front leg, and for a back stance, I should feel tension in my back leg. I hope this helps. Keep practicing your form, keep practicing good stances, and we'll see you on the floor soon.